Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a fascinating viral formula. We're going to look at how a pretty simple AI experiment can be turned from just a personal test into a story that's so captivating, everybody wants to watch it.
See this right here? That's not just a title. It's a hook. It's the promise of an adventure. And it's really the heart of a blueprint that can turn a simple tech test into absolutely compelling content. So today, we're going to uncover exactly how that blueprint works.
And that's the real challenge, isn't it? I mean, everybody is playing around with AI. So the secret isn't just in what the AI does. The real magic is in how you build the story around it, how you structure that journey from a simple prompt all the way to a surprising conclusion.
Okay, so every great experiment has to start somewhere. The first step of this formula, it's all about the prompt. A great story needs a great setup, and in the world of AI, that setup is the instruction you give it.
The magic here is really in the details. You see, you're not just asking for a schedule. You're basically creating a character, this expert coach, and then giving it a challenge. By assigning a role, feeding it your real tasks, and setting some constraints, you build the foundation for a plan that's structured, specific, and just full of potential for those weird, interesting moments.
All right, so the AI has delivered its grand plan. The next part of the formula is to show your audience exactly what that roadmap for the day is going to look like. And here's what it came up with. When you lay it all out like this, you see this amazing mix of the totally logical and the pretty peculiar. You've got a high-focus task mid-morning. That makes perfect sense. But then it wants you to brainstorm in a loud coffee shop and write a letter to your future self. This contrast is exactly where the story starts to get really good. So at this point, you have to commit. You walk us through the normal parts of the day, showing you're really, genuinely following the AI's instructions. This builds credibility, and it sets the stage for those moments when perfect digital logic inevitably clashes with messy human reality. You know, every good story needs a little bit of conflict. In this formula, that conflict comes from finding where the AI's logic gets, weird. This is where the entertainment really kicks in, and you find some absolute gems. Brainstorming in a loud coffee shop, a mandatory 10-minute social media scroll. These are the golden nuggets of the story. They're funny, they're super relatable, and they just perfectly highlight the gap between a machine's logic and our own intuition. And capturing your authentic, candid reaction, that is what seals the deal. When you respond to a really quirky suggestion with a simple, human, "Okay, ChatGPT, I see you," you're connecting with your audience. You're sharing a moment of surprise and humor that makes the whole experience feel personal and totally relatable. And that brings us to the final part of the formula. After all the fun and all the weirdness, it's time to deliver the verdict and, most importantly, the key takeaway from the whole experience. A clear, honest verdict is absolutely essential. So what actually worked? Well, the task prioritization was genuinely helpful. And what didn't? The time estimates were completely unrealistic. This kind of balanced reflection provides a really practical, valuable summary for anyone watching. And in the end, it all comes down to one single, actionable takeaway. And here it is. You provide a refined, improved prompt based on everything you learned. By giving your viewers this tool, you're not just telling them about your day. You're empowering them to try their own, even better experiments. You're turning your story into their starting point. So, this viral formula is practical, it's funny, and it's a great way to tell a story. But it also points to a much bigger question. As these tools become more and more integrated into our lives, we're kind of left to wonder about our evolving relationship with them. What does it mean when the AI shifts from being an assistant to a director? Yeah, that's something worth thinking about.